Stephen Haughian coming out of the red corner, and Giuseppe Langella coming out of the blue corner. Langella, as you can imagine by his name, is from Italy, from Campania. He's 5 years, well, almost 5 years older than the man from Lurgan, County Armagh, now residing in Lurgan. A very good prospect too is Stephen Haughian, who has, in his 15 fights, won 14 of them, only one loss. That was 4 fights ago to Grassolini, another Italian, for the Intercontinental Welterweight Championship, and that was in the King's Hall in Belfast. That was a good fight that night, and he's caught early on by this other Italian. Caught kind of cold with that right hand at the jaw, and he no doubt is taking a count. 7. That surprised him, Dave.
It is, yeah, but he was caught with a big overhand right, but you can tell this guy's been trying from the very word go to swing that overhand right across. So Haughian's going to have to be very careful here. Keep that left hand well up, keep that chin tucked in, and watch it. This guy is very strong, he's very tough. You can tell by the build of him and the way he conducts himself here how strong he actually is. His record doesn't suggest that he's a massive puncher, but he's a strong, hurtful puncher. So Haughian is going to have to be on his guard here for the whole of this fight.
He's won 4 of his fights, he's won 12, and he's won 4 of them inside the distance, the Italian. But he packs a good right hand, that's for sure. He can hook it, he can uppercut it. And for Haughian, there's no doubt that he's got the warning in the very first minute of the very first round. Don't leave that left chin open or this man will oblige. Giuseppe Langella. Got from a good stable. Alessandro looks after him here. He's in the corner. There's a nice stable of fighters and promotes a bit around that place too. In fact, it was his promotion near Turin that Bernard Dunn once fought a couple of years ago. But that warning call for Haughian, he's heeded all right, and he has that left hand well tucked up and blocked that one. Throws it a good right himself. One of the features of Langella's fighting is uppercutting with his right hand, so keep an eye out for that. There's one that misses by a yard, if you know what I mean.
But what Haughian has to do here, Jimmy, because this guy is as strong as an ox, so he wants to keep this man at long range at all times. Don't get involved in a brawl, don't be led into a brawl. Keep him at the end of that jab for the whole of the round, because if you get inside, this guy will break you up. He'll just take you to bits. You can see the strength he has and the power he has. He's throwing Stephen Haughian about like a rag doll on the inside. So you have to stay away and keep on the end of that jab and bang that right hand, because Langella here drops that left hand way down. So if Haughian can blast that big right hand across, there's a good chance he can hurt Langella here, but he has to make sure keep the hands well and keep the chin tucked down.
Good first round for the Italian. Well done, Langella. At the penultimate round, Stephen Haughian made his professional debut with a 4-rounder against James Gorman in the King's Hall in Belfast in 2005. And he was a 4-rounder. Now tonight he's gone up to 8-rounders. He's only lost once in his career, and that was at the aforementioned King's Hall for the IBF title last December. The Italian will know, they'll know from this corner that he's probably behind, almost certainly behind, but not by much. Well, Langella's not finding the range with any degree of regularity here. Again, the referee had worded with his head, leading with his head down with the solar plexus of Haughian. Haughian's got the range both offensively and defensively now. For a man who started by taking a thundering right hand to the jaw and a count with it, this has been a nice resurgence by Stephen Haughian. And if he walks into one of those uppercuts, it'll be a different story, but he hasn't. And his jab has served him well.
Good. That's good stuff from Haughian now. Like double jabs and over the right hand. and it frustrates Langella here, and he's just trying so hard to nail him again with this big overhand right, but it's not happening because Stephen Haughian, he's fighting a smart man's fight. He's not getting too involved, but we'd just like to see him throwing some more double jabs and some more right hands.
We might have to wait for the last round for that. He might give us a grandstand finish. I mean, his corner will have a fairly good idea how it's going. I've seen hundreds of fights, amateur and professional. Good, solid round for Steve Haughian. And really the Italian is beginning to run out of ideas. We saw all of his best ideas in the first couple of rounds, and now it's just been replicated, except he's not able to find the range because Haughian is slipping the best of his work and covering up for more of it. So one way and another, Haughian in charge here with 1 round and a bit to go. But that's a good left hand from Langella. That's one of the best punches he's thrown in a long time. But there's only seconds to go on this. He may not be able to build on that. Gets it in again, but the right hand was stopped on the arm by Haughian. And Haughian, it is himself who fights back. A good finish to the round, and there's 1 to go. So it's the last round here between Haughian and Langella. Tried the overhand right there, Langella, but the power seems to have deserted him now. He hasn't a great variety of punch, but what he has, he's more than willing to dispense.
He just loves to get inside and rough you up, and ball you. That's the sort of fighter he is. And if you fight that type of fight, he'll come out and top every time. But keep him at long range, keep the man thinking, throw out plenty of lefts, plenty of rights, and keep away from him. Then you'll frustrate him so badly that he just doesn't know what to do. The hands, the punches are falling short, going around the side because he can't get in close. So he's taking big mad swings to try and land something, some substance, and he hasn't been able to do it this past 6 rounds.
Running out of time. The Italian want to produce something now, something extra special in the last minute and 3/4. Good jab by Haughian. That was a good, solid, straight left to the face. He's a tough hombre, though, Langella. Not the sort of fellow you'd want to be the bouncer in the nightclub that you've been thrown out of. Unless your name is Stephen Haughian. Just over a minute to go. The shake of the head from Langella says that, did you throw a punch? I didn't feel it. Looks like Haughian's night, you think, David?
It is, yeah. Like, after being caught on the temple in the first round, like, he kept the hands well up and he jabbed and he kept things at long range, which was a smart thing to do. Because if he had got involved early on in round 1, 2 or 3 in a brawl, he could have ended up, getting hurt. So he fought the smart man's fight and kept all at long range, kept that jab going and kept Langella thinking and popping in that right hand too. So he's fought a really smart fight this past 7 rounds.
In the last 20 seconds of it now, and a nice right hand from Haughian. It's a nice show business way of finishing the business end of his night. A good right hand that would have impressed anybody anywhere near the arena watching on television as you are. But a good one from Haughian, and now it's up to referee Sean Russell. I think Stephen Haughian can be pleased with his night's work, especially since he had to take a count at the top of the very first round.